but the Smithsonian Institute comes sweeping in and took all the bones away. Is this a global thing? Is this part of a globalization?
At the turn of the last century, basically between the 19th and the 20th century, this is documented, the Smithsonian sent out teams of men to confiscate and collect as many artifacts as they can. Specifically in Ohio, where a lot of the mounds are, they tore those things up. They took the bones. Anyone who found anything, they would call the Smiths, and the Smithsonian would send out people, and, oh, yeah, we're going to display these, and they're lost
forever. And we never see them again.
We never see them. And I've written to the Smithsonian to try to get an answer, and I got a very condescending answer. Oh, you're welcome to come in, L.A., and try to find the giant bones. It's not there. Look, I had an anthropologist tell me out in Los Angeles, this guy was contacted by the sheriff's department because during a construction site, they uncovered a femur, a human femur bone, which is 30 inches. We know they're there, Paul. They're there in Ohio. They're there on the West Coast. It's a global phenomenon. The giants were everywhere. But anytime they're discovered or found, they swoop in, just like the picture. The picture is obfuscated, redacted. It's damage control. And the reason for this is it points back to the veracity of the biblical prophetic narrative. And then from there, it goes into, well, if that's true, then maybe I need to do something with my sin.
Right.
Maybe I need a Savior.
Right.
And
so
Jesus
in other words,
is
if we can prove that, because if the giants are proven to be true, then we have to forget Darwin's theory of evolution.
Completely.
Quit looking for the Neanderthal man.
Can't do that.
There's no knuckle draggers.
Right.
Instead, let's find out if there were giants. Yes, there were giants. Then where's that in the Bible? It's in the Word. But then why aren't we following the Word? It changes the whole game.
It changes the paradigm, absolutely.
I understand. Look, Steve Quayle.
Good friend.
Talking about Kandahar giant.
Yes.
You went there. You did some interview. What did they tell you?
The bottom line was, Steve broke the story a number of years ago. Bully for Steve, great researcher, and Timothy Alberino. They've teamed up. They do some great work. But they were talking about this. He was contacted by a pilot who came on the record
in Kandahar,
Afghanistan, and the pilot was hired by the military, obviously, to fly a giant out of Kandahar. And this thing was between 12 and 15 feet tall. It weighed in excess of 1,500 pounds. It smelled to high heaven, red hair, six fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, the stench was unbelievable. What came to us, and it's in our Watcher's Tent and also my book, Nephilim Hybrids, what came to us, and this was unsolicited by us, we have two witnesses that corroborate Steve's story, Quayle's story. One is the shooter who shot this thing, was part of a team that went out, and that's a little bit of the story. Actually shot the giant, and the other is a witness who was in Kandahar a few years later and heard about it. Folks, it's true.
Look, you've got a Watcher series of DVD, 10 DVD documentaries. You've got the books. We're putting them on the screen for you. You want to get this